everybody. We have a birthday in the house today. It's not mine. It's not my birthday. I would never brag about my birthday in that way anyways, especially now that I'm getting older. It's not as fun as it was when you were 15, 16. But Joe's youngest son, it's his birthday today. He's 18, and we're very excited. We're birthday people here. And actually, Joe and I have 4 kids together. So now with his youngest being 18, that means technically we only have 1 child together now. The other 3 are adults. We have 21, 19, 18, and then our youngest is 16. So I'm in the middle of making a cake right now, and I'll tell you something, you guys. Cooking is one of my love languages. I love to cook for the people that I love, and I love in particular making birthday cakes for people. It's like the thing I do. But I put a lot of pressure on myself because it has to be perfect. And I have this image in my mind of like something that somebody went to culinary school would make. But me, who has not gone to culinary school, is going to try and reproduce it. So I will post the picture on the community page later on so you can either tell me yay or dear God, woman, keep your day job. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But my whole video isn't going to be about the birthday. It's going to be about no contact. I almost forgot there. So what I thought I would do, I've thought about doing this before. Sometimes it's difficult to get a long video out every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. So I thought what I would do every once in a while is get a topic that's related to narcissism. So it could be something like stonewalling, flying monkeys, word salad, that type of thing, and really talk about it a little bit. Talk a little bit about it in particular, or give you some advice on it. Because there's so many things that go on when you're dealing with the narcissist. Sometimes it's just nice to get some advice. And what I want to talk about today is no contact. And the reason I'm even going to talk about this is I have been struggling with this. Not so much struggling that I want to get in contact with my ex, but what I've been dealing with is annoyance with things that are going on with my divorce because of him. So it's in my mind, like I want to call him. I want to be able to call him and talk to him. Now, the whole time I say that, I knew, there was never a chance I was actually going to call him or text him or anything like that. But the desire was there, and I could see at another time it being too overwhelming. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if there's any chance he'll answer me, it's worth it. My divorce has been unbearably, agonizingly slow. Now, I know it's like that for many of you. I don't even say anything to Joe because his was over 2 years, so he'll just immediately tell me that. Not meanly, but I know, I get it. I know these take a long time. And one of the reasons for that is that, I think the court is somewhat of a joke. I don't know if it's just me. My image of the court was always that it's law and order. Now, of course, I'm not naive. I know things go on, but I didn't realize that certain things just don't matter to the court. When you are going through a divorce, dates don't matter. Deadlines don't matter. They're completely inconsequential. I was supposed to be divorced in the spring. Then it was supposed to be June, and then it was by the end of the summer, and then it was by Labor Day, and then it was going to be by Halloween. Now nobody even says anything anymore. It's just, well, I guess this will eventually happen. And that is what ended up happening with Joe. It kept getting pushed further and further back, and then one day it just happened. My ex and I have come to an agreement on almost everything. What the agreements are not on, like literally we're down to this. And at this point, I can't even deal with it anymore. He doesn't want to pay child support if he gets a raise or a bonus. Like, he doesn't want that in there. According to my attorney, it's pretty typical and standard, which is why she told me to just see if we could have this work. My ex has been fighting tooth or nail with everything related to money. I've never known my ex to be this way, so this was kind of a surprise. I made a mistake. Guys, this is what I did. My ex is supposed to pay for orthodontic care for our son. I told him it was $3,700. Now, I didn't tell him, right, because I am no contact with him, but my attorney. The same day I said that, I actually said that during the mediation, I realized it wasn't $3,700, it was $3,200. When I said $37, I genuinely believed that it was. When I found out that I was $500 off, I immediately told my attorney, who immediately told my ex's attorney. So the same day, so this is back in June, there was no, it was dealt with the same day. Just last week, my ex's attorney was contacting my attorney upset about the wording in the paperwork because of that stupid $500. There's not a specific page that says that I feel like my ex's attorney might be a narcissist too. And the reason I say that is I never have a name. I am she or her. It's not my name, even though obviously everyone knows my name, but it's always she, her. It just seemed kind of like there's like a distance from me. But anyway, so there's not a separate page that says she made a mistake and they're afraid basically that if they don't have a separate page that says that I acknowledge that he doesn't owe $3,700 but $3,200, I need to acknowledge that. It can't just be like, I don't know if they think I'm going to suddenly, because I said that number months ago and 6 months from now, I'm going to try to get $500 from him. I don't know what it is. I had the orthodontist bill clearly stated, but he's still fighting over that. He still won't sign the papers because that isn't in there. But once that's in there, there'll be something else. And it doesn't matter. Like, he hasn't signed papers since June. We had our first mediation in June. It was June 6th. He never signed papers from there. He hasn't done anything he's supposed to do. He was supposed to put the house on the market July 1st, July 15th, August 15th, August 30th. Now it's just not even mentioned anymore. He hasn't even chosen a real estate agent. And you guys, the whole thing's insane. And this comes down to the no contact. What I really, really wanted to do was call him and be like, listen, this is ridiculous. I know things are difficult, but could we please just try to get this done? It's really best for everybody. And that would be great but then of course I'm going down a whole rabbit hole here. That would be great. That would be great if that's how he was. But if he was like that, we wouldn't be in this whole mess to begin with. So what I want to say about no contact and why I knew, even when I really wanted to call it, because it would have been so much easier, I knew I wouldn't, because I've gotten to this point where, and I think this is really, really important if you're going no contact, understand who the narcissist is, or as Joe typically says, what the narcissist is. What are you dealing with? What thing? I mean, because when you talk about a narcissist, it's a creature. It's an entity. It's something extraordinary. It's something that isn't human. And here we are trying to make it that way. Right now where I'm making my video, I have 2 dogs in this room with me. I have Belle and Fiona, which is weird because usually it's Fiona and Pac. But because I'm making the video later, I have the 2 girls here. And they are so sweet and I love them and I talk to them. But I have an understanding that at the end of the day, they're dogs. So they cannot have a level of communication with me that I would like to have with them. I know they know their name, and if I say certain words, they'll know what that means. But I'm never going to have a conversation. They're never going to help me decide what to wear or help me make the cake. I mean, that can never happen. We need to have that understanding of a narcissist. The person that you want them to be, the person we frankly were tricked into believing that they were way back in the day, doesn't exist. So you're dealing with somebody that wants your life to be difficult, that wants you to have problems. Like in my case, and many of yours probably too, doesn't want to get divorced. So therefore, they're not going to try to make my life easier, the kids' life easier. They don't care. They don't think that way. There were several times where I said to Joe, actually, I was like, it's just, you guys, sometimes when I think about how naive I used to be and how even now, I'm thinking to myself, well, he must not know, like my ex, how badly this is hurting the kids. He must not know. And Joe's like, of course he knows that. He just doesn't care. And that's what we have to remember. Ultimately, what we're dealing with. We cannot make a narcissist a human being. I mean, imagine if we could do that, how rich we would be. It's not possible. But we do need to understand, no contact gives you your dignity back. The narcissist will never be the person that you want them to be. I mean, if you're dealing with somebody who's a real narcissist, this is somebody, despite what you want to believe, despite what their flying monkeys or anybody else tells you, has a major issue, a personality disorder. I mean, consider them having a brain, something wrong with their brain damage. They don't think right. They're never going to be able to think right. Just like if I was trying to communicate with somebody who spoke a different language and neither of us understands our language, we don't have a language in common, I could desperately want to talk to somebody. It could be a life or death matter. But if the person doesn't understand, so that's what you're dealing with a narcissist. They don't get it. It's not who they are. They're not the person we wish that they were. Frankly, they're not the person we need them to be. So no contact. Stay no contact, even if you have to bite your tongue, sit on your hands, whatever you have to do. Getting in touch with a narcissist at the end of the day, all the power that you gathered by doing this, by being strong, by standing on your own, will be lost as soon as they know you've tried to make contact. Even if they don't answer the phone, they're going to know you called, and right then you're going to lose all that power. And then the narcissist is right back in control. This is kind of like a game in a way that we're playing with the narcissist. Nobody wants to play this game. But once we're in the game, it's like I said before, like I've said this recently on my channel, if your house is on fire, you're getting the hell out. You're getting out of that house. You're not going to wish that the house wasn't on fire. Wish that the house wasn't on fire. You're not going to daydream that maybe it'll change soon, maybe after this next commercial. You wouldn't do that. You would get up and get out. When you're dealing with a narcissist, whether, no matter what the circumstances, you need to get out. You need to get away from the narcissist, and no contact. Once you have begun no contact, dedicate yourself to keeping up. It'll get easier. It does get easier. It was never really hard for me, but there was times where I was like, well, I'll just have to call him because I thought it would be easier getting the divorce and all that. No, going no contact was the way to go. But there are times when you might want to break no contact, and I'm just telling you, no, do not break it. Remember who you're dealing with or what you're dealing with, because that's the person that's going to be on the other end of the phone. Thank you so much. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I will be back here on Monday with Joe. And other than that, I will see you guys later. Bye.